welcome back to my channel, Felts in Love. I'm back on today to finish up this little dog that we started. I have sculpted it a little bit better. So here is what I came up with. And I went ahead and started on the legs so I can show you the finished product a little bit quicker. So here are the legs, but I'm going to show you how to make one of the legs. So we'll get started on that. And we've got our polyester batting, and I'm just going to kind of ball it up in a little cylinder shape. I'm going to use my 38 triangle first and kind of sculpt the leg a little bit. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. It is Sunday afternoon, and for all of y'all that are in the same time zone that I'm at, the Central Time Zone, happy, unhappy daylight saving time change. I hate daylight saving time. I wish they would keep it like this, like we've changed it to, just all year long, and not have to change it back and forth. It's just so hard to get used to the time difference. So I wish they'd just leave it one way or the other, but particularly I'd like to leave it like it is now, where you have longer hours in the afternoon, daylight hours in the afternoon. So when you get off of work, you have time to do something. When it gets dark before 5 o'clock and you work till 4, you don't have time to really do anything. Especially the older you get, it's harder for you to see at nighttime, so it's just really difficult the older you get. And the bad thing about where I live, I'm basically in the city. I wish I was in the country, but I am in the city, and a lot of people walk, and a lot of people that do not follow basic rules of traffic. I mean, even as a walker, you have to obey the rules of the road, basically. And no one wears reflective striping. Nobody wears light colored clothing. They're all wearing black or gray or dark blue. And even though you have street lights, it's still hard to see people when they're in the middle lane of a busy road and they're not crossing at a crosswalk. And it's very hard to see them. I've just been grateful and thankful that I haven't ever hit anybody, but it's just crazy to me that if you're going to be out at night, that you need to be wearing something that is going to alert people to you being there. Especially, they don't realize older people and their eyesight gets, worse. It's hard to see them. So when it gets dark early, you're rushing home to get home. Well, I did when I was in the office. I'm grateful now that I'm not in the office anymore, that I'm working from home. But being in the office, it's like you're rushing home so you can miss it being too dark for you to be able to see people. Because living in a city, there are going to be people out all day, every day, all hours of the night. So I'm just thankful I'm working from home now and I don't have to worry about it, but I really wish they would just leave the time alone. I can understand back in the day when, when they made daylight saving time. I understand the farmers and, they needed the extra daylight, things like that, but, we're in modern days now, and most tractors and farm equipment have lights on them, and it's just not the same Plus, you get your work done a lot quicker. They're probably done before dusk, so the same reasons just don't apply anymore. So I don't understand why we have to keep going through this to mess up our sleeping habits and our work and church habits, and just leave the time one way or the other. And that's just my opinion. I know other people probably have other opinions, and I've heard some of the, complaints about the children, at the bus stop, when it's dark. Well, they're at the bus stop coming home in the dark. So, I mean, one half dozen the other. At least the traffic's less in the morning. I'd rather them be there in the dark in the morning time than in the afternoon when the traffic is crazy and it's dark. So, I have seen kids get off here at our house. Our house is basically a bus stop. And I've seen them get off the bus at 5:30 at night, and it's all the way dark. So either way, the kids are going to be in the dark unless they decide to change the time of schools, which I think they should. I think school should be from 8 to 3, really. I think the kids should not have to go before 8 and get home before it gets dark. That way they're not in the dark either way. So, but that's just my opinion, and I know everybody else has their opinion. And I'll get out. Sorry, didn't mean to get into that long-winded issue, but it's just, I just hate daylight saving time. I mean, I like having extra daylight in the afternoon. I would just wish they would just leave it that way and not change it back in the fall. Just leave it like it is, and it'll be dark when it gets dark, and it'll be light when it gets light. Now this is my back leg because it's a little bit shorter than the front legs. So I'm going to kind of gauge it where I need it to be. And here for the paws, I'm basically just kind of curving it up here to kind of get that look of a paw. And again, I'm trying to do this on the edge of this table, which is really, really difficult. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of push in right here to kind of get that look of how their legs are. Now again, like I said, I'm not haven't had any formal training in any kind of sculpting or anything like that. And most of my animals are like teddy bears and cartoons, so I rarely do them this way. So this is just my best guesstimate of how this should look. And again, I apologize if I'm getting out of frame. It's just so hard on this edge of this table. If you could see my position right now. How I'm positioned here, sitting in this chair with my elbow on the corner of this table. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna sculpt this off camera. I need to get off the edge of this table. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Sorry, I just needed to get my elbow off the corner of that table. But here I have both legs, and they're pretty similar in size and shape. And that's going to be my hind legs, and these are my front legs. So now we're going to assemble our little dog here, and I'm going to take a just a regular sewing needle. And here's that thread that I use. It's the DMC. It's a cotton thread, and this is the kind I always use to join my limbs on my animals. It's just a the best thread I've used. The cotton works the best to go through these fibers where it's not too slick. And I'm going to take off these finger guards so I can get this threaded. And my eyesight is bad, y'all. I can't see this. This in. Alright, let me get this threaded. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just, again, not very prepared. My husband gets aggravated with me because he's like, you have too much dead air time. And he's like, most people are probably tuning out. But, you know, it is what it is. I can't help it. Sometimes things happen. But here I'm going to just kind of eyeball it to see where it should be in the front paws, and that looks pretty good to me. And I'm gonna take the lazy way out today. I've had a rough week trying to get everything back in order in my house after my washing machine. So I'm going to we're making a beagle today because I don't have to cover it with any other type of wool. And then I just try to stay close to the middle here and pull your string, you know, pretty tight. And sometimes when it gets really tight, I'm gonna have to use my little tool here to pull it through. And then one more pass through and I think we'll be good. I'm gonna go ahead and take this pin out. we're going to cover this thread up here in just a few minutes. And I'm going to clip this off. Give myself enough thread here to tie it into a knot. So I'm going to pull that tight and tie it into a knot. I don't want these legs going anywhere. And then we're going to cut these strings off as close as we can get. And then we're going to cover this up here in a little bit, but there's the front legs. And now we're going to do the back legs. He's a little bit long-bodied. He might be able to actually get away with being a Dachshund, especially with these shorter legs. This is much larger than what I normally do, so my scale might be a little bit off. But I think you can get the general idea of how to make one of these if you want to try it on your own. And there's our back legs, and it looks about right. I think I'm gonna leave it right there. Knot this thread. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to run this through. I'm going to try to stay pretty close to the top middle. I'll go ahead and take this pin out. It makes it kind of hard to get that needle through when you have a pin in there. And I'm going to do one more pass, and then I think we're done with these back legs. And again, leave ourselves a little bit of room there to tie this into a knot. And I usually knot it a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, pulling it tight each time. I'm going to cut that thread off. And there we have our back legs. So here's kind of what we've got so far. Our little dog. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is get all this out of the way. And I'm going to work on the nose. And I use a black polyester fiber. This is not wool, this is polyester. This is that polyester batting I was telling you about that's called Halloween bats. I don't know if I've ever showed you what the package looks like. I've got some different colors in here, but this is called Halloween hay. And I used to get this at Michael's, and it was $3.99. But I don't know if they still sell it or not. But that's what that looked like. And this orange, it had orange and black, and here's the orange. I've still got a little bit of it left, the orange and then the black. And it's been a long time, like I said, when I saw it on sale, I would buy a bunch of it. So I've had a lot, and I don't use a whole lot of black. The only time I use it is normally for nose and eyes, and occasionally if I'm making like a husky or a panda bear or something, there's a little bit of black there that I need to use, but generally I don't use a whole lot of black. So I'm just going to kind of make a round shape for the nose. I like to kind of pre-needle felt it, because the loose fibers, if you try to do it when it's all the way loose fibers, and you'll see when I'm attaching this nose, but it'll go up into the fibers here, and then you can see that black up here. And sometimes if you pre-needle felt it, it won't go in there as bad and come way up here, because sometimes when you do it loose like that, you'll see the black way up here, and I want to avoid that if I can. And again, you can see basically what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go off camera to try to get this attached. It's just too difficult on the edge of this table. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. And here is the nose. I just kind of tacked it in there a little bit. And there's the nose in there. And now, like I said, I'm taking the easy way out today, the lazy way out. And I'm just going to use my chalk to make this beagle instead of using more wool. So I am using my Stampin' Up! Chalk that I use to color. Oops, sorry. Knocking you over. My pastels chalk that I got from that little store that they sell secondhand type stuff to benefit mentally handicapped people. But there's our little dog, and I'm just going to go around the face, and I'm going to use these little makeup brushes here, and I'm going to get this brown, kind of tan brownish color, and I'm going to color it around where the eye would be. And you can use wool here or felt, or you don't have to use artist chalk or anything like that, but I just was feeling the need to do it a little bit quicker and show you how it looks like this. And I kind of like the effect that it gives. Rubbing it with this brush kind of fluffs up the fibers a little bit. makes it look more furry, I guess you could say. So I like the effect that it gives when you brush it. And again here, I'm not a professional artist by any means. I dabble in my own art. And I'm probably going to, cause I don't like that it came down here. So I'm probably just going to pick some of those fibers a little bit to get some of that color off of there. And I might even put a little bit more white to cover that up. I didn't want that brown down that far. Now, it wouldn't hurt anything to leave it there, but that's not the look I wanted to go for there. I'm not sure that that's gonna cover it up that much, but I'm gonna try. Only downside to the artist chalk when it flakes off like that. I could take probably some white marker and maybe touch that up. I'm going to use a little finer needle now. So I don't want to see all those hole marks from the needle. Sometimes you can just rub your finger and it kind of helps that. And then we're going to go ahead and cover where we sewed on the legs. We're going to cover that with a little bit of this. I need a little different needle there. That one's too fine. I'm going to close this up for just a second and get it out of the way. And I just use a little bit here and just cover the legs. And I think I'm going to go off camera for this too, as I'm still leveraging on the corner of this table. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Just knocked him over. Okay, so I went ahead and filled those in, so those are all covered now. And I also went ahead and made a tail and tacked it on, since it's so hard for me to position myself on this table. I'm going to go ahead and just use black for the eyes today. Normally I would use white and then use a Sharpie and make black pupils, but I think today I'm just going to go with the black just to save time here. And as you can see what I'm doing and where I'm placing them, I'm probably going to go off camera again, just because it's just hard to get leverage on this table to needle felt. And I guess that's why I'm not doing as many tutorials as I would like to do. It's just in my current configuration, it's very difficult for me to show what I do in a productive way when I'm not able to really get the leverage to push these fibers together. But you can see here basically what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. Off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I finished the eyes. I put a little white underneath to kind of give the sad eye impression. And speaking of sad eyes, if you've never seen that movie, that's a great movie. I think Amy Adams stars in that movie. It's a great movie. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. But anyway, so here's what we've got so far. Now I'm going to add the ears, and I'm going to do the cheat on the ears today. I'm just going to use a piece of wool felt here, and I'm going to cut the ears out instead of needle felting them. It just takes much longer to needle felt them. So I'm just gonna cut some out here. This wool, just gonna make a couple of shapes that look like beagle ears. And it might take me a few tries to get it just right. And what I like to do at the top is I use a dog brush and kind of brush out the fibers. That gives me a little more grip to get down into the fibers of the ears. So I just use this little dog brush I got from the Dollar Tree. And you need to pick out the fibers of whatever you brushed the last time so you don't mix your colors up. But I'm just going to brush it out here a little bit so I can loosen up those fibers at the top so it's easier to attach. And then I'm just going to tack it on right here. And again, I think I'm gonna do this off camera as, you know, I'm shaking this table. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, sorry. I was gonna say, don't take the easy way out. I ended up not liking the different colors from the chalk and this fiber, so I went ahead and covered his face with that same felt, and then I added some here and some of the black polyester here in the tail and on this side, and I added his little toes. But yeah, don't take the easy or the lazy way out. Do it the right way the first time and you'll like the results a lot better. But here he is, and he's all finished, and he will be in my eBay store this afternoon if anybody's interested. He is a little bit larger than what I normally make. He stands about 3.5 inches tall, and he's about 4 inches long from tail to nose. So he's a little bit larger than what I normally make, but and his legs do move up and down, and you can pose him in different ways, and you can sit him down like he's sitting. So I mean, there's just different ways you can pose him, and the legs are jointed. But there he is. He's all finished and he's done, and I will link my eBay store in the description box below if anybody's interested. And then I also made this little purple bunny. He turned out really cute, and he also will be in my eBay store this afternoon if anybody's interested. But that's this little guy, and he is made out of that that wool that I hauled the other day that has that purple variegated look. I really like the look of that wool, so I'm gonna be using it on quite a few more projects. But there he is, and he'll be in my store as well. And with that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. If you like this content, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing and helping my channel grow. It would mean a lot to me. I love everyone, and I thank you for all your support and your comments. I enjoy reading the comments, so if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to comment below, and I'll try to get back to everybody if I can. I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.